Dun 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 dun. Hooray for Hollywood. Wonderful Florida counterpart version of Hollywood. Home to Donald and home to Daisy. Down at the end, the Chinese theater that once housed the great movie. Right. Welcome everyone, Adam. The Woo here. This place feels just like home in more ways than one. In the early 90s, when it was called MGM Studios, it was one of my all-time favorite theme parks for a number of reasons. The formidable years it cultivated and prompted my love of movies and how movies were made. And then, now, currently, I live in the real Hollywood. So now, when I come here, I'm actually starting to sense the ambiance of my stomping grounds now. So I have old school memories and new memories that I am making. And I'm gonna roam around, check out some of the updates that they're creating. Star Wars is coming. Join me, shall you? This whole place is being converted to the dark side. My goal today is to leave Star Wars as far behind as possible and concentrate on some of the more hidden, secretive, lesser known things that I haven't shown before, tucked away in the nooks and crannies. I knew if anyone would be hanging around here from the old days, it would be Gertie. Oh yeah, and Micah from World of Micah.
I'm always here, it feels like.
Oh no, snakes. What, to Shawn?
Why'd it have to be snakes?
I got this salad and I'm now noticing, at first I thought it was a napkin, but it's like some sort of cracker chip item that has R2-D2 melded into it. Has no flavor. In hindsight, I should have wiped the ranch dressing off the front of my glasses, but what's done is done. I'm now walking on the exact spot where the Force Perspective City used to stand and heading back into what used to be Streets of America. Not seeing that epic New York skyline right there is always going to seem very bizarre to me. Last time I was here, the water in the Miss Piggy fountain was not running. They made it into a makeshift planter to reroute plumbing. And there was a wall over there that would not allow us to go to the far left. That wall has been removed and the water is now flowing once again. With the entrance to Galaxy's Edge looming, I must say I am very, very thankful that a remnant of the past was still left here. Right here on the left, this facade is from the old school MGM days.
On the Magical World of Disney, there was a sequence with Tinkerbell who was flying into Florida, and we basically followed Tinkerbell. She ended up passing by Spaceship Earth, finally making her way here into Disney's MGM Studios at the time. You would see all these cars passing by, and the camera would go into that window right there.
Mickey? Mickey, are you up there typing? That's where his desk was. And for those of you who might remember, in this very spot was where the subway stairs were, being eloquently described by Shawn. This area is now referred to as Grand Avenue, but before that, Streets of America, and before that, New York Street. It's hard to keep up. The times definitely changing. Tucked away back here at Mama Melrose, the Italian restaurant, are some very interesting tidbits that some people fail to notice. This is a very unique way to display pin trading. It's not on the normal cork board, it's on a pizza box. Nice. Once you step indoors, there are small frame photos of different celebrities. Bob Denver, Mark Hamill, they're all along the walls as you enter the foyer. Next to the dining room, pay close attention to this particular brick wall. Look at that. That's Michael Eisner on the left next to a very bizarre looking Chewbacca, Carrie Fisher, the Ewoks, George Lucas, a very, very young Luke Skywalker, and 3PO right there next to the entrance of the newly opened at that time Star Tours. A lot of celebrities made their way down the cavalcade of stars. Phyllis Diller and even Norm himself right there with Mickey and Minnie. I had to turn the light on my phone on to illuminate this, but pay close attention to the signage right there. It still says MGM, the old school name, a relic here in Mama Melrose. Even the Hulk paid a visit right there. That was a long time ago. That was late 80s, early 90s. Plenty of theming to make you think you're in California, but in reality, we're in Central Florida. It's hard to see, but look up there. In Italian, there is an Aliens, the sequel to Alien. It's almost like a great movie ride throwback, just wedged up there, close to the roof. Even Empire Strikes Back, and yes, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids with Tummy Trouble. The Roger Rabbit short right there on the far left of the poster, bottom far left of the poster. Whoa, is that a Superman? It is, it's a Superman 2 poster. Not Donner, that's the Richard Lester version, which was the guy that replaced Richard Donner after he was fired for doing Superman 1. There's a Superman 2 poster up there. Heck yeah. Even Mr. Miyagi, Pat Morita, is adorning the walls. Right there. Anyone remember the live action Dick Tracy movie? Look at that. That is incredible. Dick Tracy characters just wandering around the park. Billy Ray Cyrus, Sandy Duncan, and Gomez himself. I never noticed this before, but the archway that used to be on New York Street and Streets of America on the backlot tour looked just like this. This one's in Rome, the real one's in Rome, but they recreated it. I'm thinking they used the interpretation of the one in Rome for the backlot tour when you look down at the cityscape down Streets of America. I spy Howie Mandel up there. Somewhere there is a Howie Mandel with a full head of hair. Comparison shot, what's your opinion? It looks similar to that archway in Rome, right? And look back there, there's the old skyline, the old city skyline. By stepping in the Muppet store next to the hanging laundry, they still sell the Great Movie Ride. Look at this. You can buy this, it's $160, but they still have it on sale. Even though the attraction is long gone, the paraphernalia is still for sale.
Walt Disney Imagineering, WDI, the stamp.
Up on this scaffolding is the full band, the Electric Mayhem, up there rocking some tunes. I think that's what, that platform is what they would use in a big city to wash windows, but they've commandeered it for some rock and roll.
Is this how Rizzo talks?
It's more like a rat.
Yeah,
it's more like a rat.
Like a rat, I see. Okay.
Like a rat, like a, yeah.
What do they know? They're tourists.
I'm Mickey Mouse. Up close and personal with Rizzo.
Oh, look at this guy strutting his stuff. It's Goofy! The terror of the Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater. I must admit, I've never eaten inside this restaurant. The theming is incredible and accessible to just wander around and check out the neat stuff like these old horror throwbacks. Attack of the 50-Foot Woman and Flight to Mars. Spaceways, I'm not familiar with that one. Looming in the darkness, faintly visible is Vincent Price, The House on Haunted Hill. How bizarre is this? Just right here on this wood paneling, that's Rex. Star Tours storyboards just right down this hallway. Who knew? If you didn't have a keen eye, you wouldn't even notice half this stuff. I don't know if it's movie props or just little displays, but all through here, like there's some sort of laser gun, space pods, strange old photos. There's like a creepy brain right there. The Wolfman and Igor. See, look at all these weird little relics behind the plastic. Some sort of miniature futuristic space world right there. And 3D glasses that have, they're slightly caked in dust, and the letters next to it spell out RHL for what reason? I don't know. Slight coloration difference between the inner lettering and the outer circle. If you pull way back, you can see what I'm talking about. See how they had to repaint it when they switched from MGM to Hollywood Studios. By following the hall down, turn into here, sit in a car, and watch some old classic films while you chow down. Standing next to the footprints of Michael Jackson, the king of pop. And this is bringing back a serious deja vu moment for me, because I just saw this last week, but on the West Coast.
Except in Los Angeles, the fountains don't work, and this little vestibule is on the opposite side. Other than that, looks the same. Take a good look, because in a matter of months, the public will not be able to walk down that thoroughfare. June 30th, 2018, Toy Story Land is going to be open that way, and all traffic is going to be rerouted that way instead of through here. I am now walking on very near future Backstage property. Very near future Backstage property.
This is going to be Star Wars Galaxy Edge, and as you're coming from Toy Story Land, there's going to be like a little tunnel that you're going to go into, and then magically you're in the world of Star Wars.
As you make your way to Launch Bay, over here, fun fact, used to be handprints of Walt's original 9 old men, and they have uprooted them and moved them to Disney Studios in Burbank. Through this door used to be the old animation drawing class. They don't really use these buildings for guests anymore, but look at this old glasswork. You can no longer visit the original Brown Derby because it no longer exists, but its recreation in Orlando, still here. To be honest, it's much bigger in here than I realized. Oh, and there's a portrait of Willie Nelson. All kinds of notable people and pets on the walls. That's Benji right there. Even the lamps are Brown Derbies. It's illuminating out of the bottom. Pretty neat. The theming is on point. The palm trees lining Sunset are a nice ambiance, a nice little callback to California. Oh dang, look at that. Wish you were here at Paradise Pier, that billboard. That no longer exists. Because at DCA, Disney's California Adventure in Anaheim, Paradise Pier is slowly turning into Pixar Pier.
99
Ice creams, yeah.
walked into a bar. I know because I was there. And the bartender said, I am so sorry, I can't serve you ice creams in here. And they said, well, can we just hang around here? We're with the Gazette, and we're looking for a good scoop.
There you go.
Slushy alert and Hidden Mickey. People are loading in to watch the Beauty and the Beast stage show in a theater that's made to resemble the Hollywood Bowl. But instead of sitting down, notice the courtyard on the way in. There's something very interesting on the ground. The Chinese theater here on premises is not the only place where you can find celebrity handprints from the late 80s and 90s. Alex Trebek being clever with his writing back in 1992, and the one and only Fess Parker, Davy Crockett, also from 1992. Martin Mull put his face in the concrete, and look at the date, 6/7/1989. That's pretty much opening day of MGM. And then a few years later, Peter Graves was added. Mrs. Brady herself, Florence Henderson, and everyone's just walking right over top as if they didn't even care. Faintly starting to fade away, but that's Imogen Coca, who played Aunt Edna in the first Vacation film, Let's Make a Deal, Monty Hall, and who could forget Gilligan. I've now placed my hand in the same spot as Vanna White. Gotta love these little hidden gems and secrets here on Disney property. Next time you go see Beauty and the Beast, make sure you look down on the way in. Dun 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 dun. Boba Fett. Whoa, must be Burt Reynolds or something. And why does it say 88 when the park didn't open till 89? Transition back to the Chinese theater, which is where most people expect to see all the handprints, not 300 or 400 yards on the opposite side of the theme park. You have to wonder what their reasoning was on why some were here and some were in a different location. By the way, can you find the incorrect fact on this placard? That's gonna do it for today from Central Florida, Disney's Hollywood Studios, or as I like to refer to it, from the old school era, Disney's MGM Studios. And there is rumor of a future name change. I don't think it's been confirmed, but there has been some speculation and talk. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Give it a nice thumbs up. It lets me know you care. See you in the next video vlog. Oh.